I be in my own world. Like, I'm not concerned about what this one and that one and the next one and everybody else is doing, right? I'm focused on what God would have me to do, right? What I believe is my assignment in this season, right? That's what I'm focused on, and I'm present in those things.
To some, boundaries are just placing limits. To me, it's where the limitless things begin.
Hello, 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 and thank you for tuning into the Boundaries and More podcast with Jess Abraham. I am your host, Jess Abraham, your favorite boundaries coach, and today's episode is brought to you by Joyful Styles. Joyful Styles is a lifestyle brand that provides premium quality apparel that promotes joy and positivity. Joyful Styles believes how we approach a situation matters. And choosing to be joyful makes all the difference. You have the power, and it's time to embrace it. So get your Joyful Styles apparel at joyfulstyles.com. That's JOYFULSTYLEZ.com. Let's go. Look, for those of you who have not yet taken that boundaries assessment, I ask that you take some time out right now, about 2 minutes or less of your time. Get a gauge of when you are. Take that boundaries assessment. That link for you is in the show notes. However, you're also welcome to text me. Text me the word boundaries to 210-880-0771. And I got you. I'll get it sent right over to you, y'all. Look, oh my goodness. I'm super excited to get into this episode today, y'all. And especially what dropped in my spirit right before I started recording. Like, I am, super excited about this. But y'all, look, let's get into it, right? Y'all see it, right? FOMO, ROMO, JOMO, okay? Y'all see it. FOMO, ROMO, JOMO. That's what we're going to be talking about today, y'all. I know some of you may have seen it and was like curious, like, what in the world is going on? What is that? And, you know, it's the holiday season. Maybe you thought I was singing a holiday song. I don't know. But look, I'm ready to get into this episode today and talk about the things that maybe you all have heard, right? Like, you've heard of FOMO. I'm sure most of you have, right? For those of you who have not, or just need a little refresher, right? FOMO is an acronym for the fear of missing out, right? Now, we're going to break things down, and I'm going to get into my fave and, you know, all the things. But when it comes to FOMO, right, what it means is, well, what it does, it describes the anxious feeling that you are missing out on rewarding experiences, events, or opportunities that others are having, right? It's often fueled by social media or wherever you may see other people's highlights and things, right, of their life, right? And it can lead to compulsively checking in on what others are doing. Right? Like, you're so in tune, like, what other people are doing, because you're like, you feel like you're missing out on something. So you need to check every second or refresh the page and do all the things just to be involved in their lives instead of being present in yours. And we're going to talk about that a little later in the episode. But also, right, fear of missing out, what it is, FOMO, right? FOMO is also the apprehension, right, that others are having more fun or more important experiences than you are. Y'all, we gonna get into it today. Right? It's you're looking at their life. You don't know what's behind the scenes. You don't know any of that stuff, but you're looking at their life and like they're having a more fun than me, more important time than I am, and all the things. When all of us, we're here. We're important, right? There's something for us to do specifically. That's why we're still here, right? But look, we're going to get into it, y'all. Let me get into it. Now, also, like, I'm going to get into it because we're going to talk, of course, this is the Boundaries and More podcast. We're going to talk about the boundaries, baby. So, what it does, right, when you have this FOMO, what it does, it causes this feeling of restlessness, stress, and anxiety, right? It's it's always, you start feeling these things because you're on it. You're constantly on. I'm like, look, oh my gosh, I could be doing this or doing that or that. Like, you are like, yeah. You get real discombobulated. You get real like all these other things, like just that really anxious feeling that you don't even know um why necessarily, because it's you're so focused on their life versus your life and enjoying the beautiful things that you have right in front of you. Like, yeah, and it creates this anxiety and stress and all the things for you, right? All these unwanted feelings and emotions. I'll say it like that, okay? Right? That's what FOMO does, y'all. We got some remedies for it. Don't worry, right? We're gonna get into it. We got some remedies for it. Um, and also, right, I want to let you know, like, because you have this FOMO, right? Some of you may be experiencing FOMO or just wrapped up in this, right? What it does, it can manifest as an urge to say yes, right, to every invitation, even when you're tired, right? Because you have such a fear of missing out, you don't want to go to whatever event, or you just need rest and all the things, but you're like, oh my gosh, if I don't go, then I might miss out on this and that. I don't know what's going to happen. You don't need to know what's going to happen, right? We're going to get into it, y'all. I'm ready. I'm excited to get into the rest of these acronyms today, right? But I'm like, this is what happens, right? All the stress and anxiety and all the things, and you saying yes here, there, and everywhere, right? This is what when your boundaries start to break down, right? This is what happens. This is how it happens. You're so focused on other people, things, and stuff, and whatever, that it starts to break down for you. It's not okay, right? It's not okay. I need you to be good, great, right? Right. So, like, y'all, okay. Now, I want to I want to spend just the minimal time on FOMO, because again, most of you may be abreast and familiar with the term, right? So I don't need to go too much into that. And if you feeling it, right? You probably use it, man, I'm having FOMO right now, and all the things like that. But we got some remedies. And one of the first ones I want to get into is the ROMO, right? Some of you may or may not have heard of this term. It's not as popular as FOMO because people are more focused on FOMO than ROMO or JOMO. Okay, but we're gonna get into this, right? So ROMO, right? ROMO is the relief of missing out. Y'all see it? We going somewhere. Yo. ROMO is the relief of missing out, right? And I'm gonna get into two different sides of this, but first I want to start with it's a feeling of peace and contentment from intentionally disconnecting from the news and the social media. And it really truly describes that sense of calm that comes from choosing to step away from those constant stream of information, right? Like you all this stuff. Like I personally do not watch the news like that. I've been stopped that for I don't know how many years now, because 99.9999% of the time it's just this horrible information. There's nothing really positive going on there. Like it's just I'm cool on that. But there's some people that literally watch, I know them, that watch news all day long on that's all they watch on TV and whatnot. And I just personally I'm cool on that. Like I'm good. I don't need that in my life. So I definitely feel like I'm cool. I didn't need to know certain things. I just tend to know when it pops up enough on my timelines on social media, then I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. But for the most part, like, no, I don't got time for that. Like, I'm too busy in JOMO that I'm not even focusing on all that stuff, right? But yeah, we still here with ROMO. I'm not gonna get ahead of myself, right? But it's like, yeah, so intentionally doing that, like, it creates that, like, I love unplugging. I love not know. People be like, did you hear about such and such? No, I didn't. I didn't. What's that about? What's going on? Whatever. Most of the time, like I be in my own world, y'all. For real, right? And well, let me slow down because I want to make sure that I touch on both parts of ROMO, and yeah, go from there. But it's like yeah, you don't need to ROMO. Again, it takes away that there's constant stream of information and the social pressure to be everywhere and know everything, right? Like you don't need to be everywhere and know all the things, right? Like if the information is important enough, you'll get the information. I promise you. Some way or another, you'll get the information if it's important enough, right? Like, man, yeah, y'all. Okay, let me keep it moving because my brain is like jumping. I'm gonna get here and go there, but I'm gonna be focused here with y'all in this Romo right now, right? Practical, right? We're gonna talk about practical stuff because again, I want you to stop being on FOMO and experience more ROMO or JOMO, right? We're gonna focus on these two areas for you to be better, right? To you to have these healthy and effective boundaries, right? That's what we're doing. That's what we're here to do. That's what we're accomplishing, right? Like, yeah, let's do that, right? So practical application for ROMO, right? It can look like you unplugging, right? As literally practical information, right? I mean, practical application, right? That's what you do. Being intentional about not being on those things. Like, y'all, I have my social media accounts and all the things, but I am really on them. Like, that's the truth. That's the truth. Like, that's why people, when you want to really interact with me and get um, more immediate in a sense response, you might not get it like right away, but more timely responses, I'll say it that way. Man, the boundaries and more community is where you should be. The boundaries and more community is where you should be. And look, like, you text me certain things. Of course, you text the boundaries to my number, all the things, like, you're gonna get this stuff. But I'm just like this is how people have access to me, and that would really would be more of a timely response. Because sometimes, like, people send me DMs and stuff, I get to them, but it's not necessarily immediate as more timely, I should say, because I don't really do all things immediately. That's just part of my boundaries, right? But more timely response would be from text messages. Again, responses in the boundaries and more community and stuff, because, like, you in the boundaries and more community, you are priority. Like, you just are, right? You are a priority. So look, yeah, that link for you is in the show notes, or you can just go to community.boundariesandmore.com to join us there in the boundaries and more community, right? Didn't plan to say that, but look, that's just what it is, right? That's where we're at. But yeah, doing that, right? And benefits, some of this, what it can do, right? Okay. What ROMO does, right, or what it can do, right, it promotes a sense of calm and clarity and focus by protecting, right, your time and energy, right? It is a decision, a conscious decision to protect your boundaries and your values, y'all. Like, this is what we're doing, right? This is what we're doing. I want to get into this because this is on my mind and I want to get it out, right? Another part that comes when you might look at ROMO, right? The relief of missing out is that hearing something after the fact, and you're like, oh, I'm glad I wasn't there, right? In that moment, in that instance, you're experiencing that ROMO, right? Whether you know it or not, right? It's that relief of missing out, right? Not being a part of something that went haywire or went totally wrong or whatever the case may be, right? That part of that relief, but still making sure you're being intentional about all of this stuff, right? Again, you might fall into the ROMO category and things of that. So even sometimes you might just accidentally, if you're not being intentional, be in FOMO, right? But it's like, y'all, we have the choice, right? Y'all, I would tell you, we have the choice, right? Joyful Styles tell you, you have the choice, right? It's a choice, y'all. It's a choice. You choose, y'all. Right now, I have on my red I choose joy shirt. I choose, y'all. I choose. And with that being said, I want to get into my favorite of all three, right? The one that I experienced the most, the one that I consciously and intentionally and I am deliberate about, right? Like, yeah. So y'all, we get into it. JOMO. I mean, yeah. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm kind of sped through the others, I guess, because I guess a little bias here, right? I got to, because I got so much that I want for you to experience when it comes to JOMO. So that I'm like, okay, we touched on the other two, but yeah, let's get here, right? Because this is what ultimately I want you to get to as well. Right? Like, truthfully, right? We're here to be better and develop and grow. And this one, this is my favorite. This is where I kind of live. Really, right? And I'm sure I mentioned it in multiple episodes in different ways. But yeah, so JOMO, the joy of missing out. The joy of missing out. Y'all know if you've been here and listening, long time listener, even if you're just hearing new, like I am about that joy, right? Joyful Styles lifestyle. I live that life. Y'all, yes, let's go. Okay, so JOMO, right? The joy of missing out, which is a feeling of contentment and joy from being present in your own life. Right, y'all, I told you I be in my own world. Like, I'm not concerned about what this one and that one and next one and everybody else is doing, right? I'm focused on what God would have me to do, right? What I believe is my assignment in this season, right? That's what I'm focused on. And I'm present in those things, right? Like, so again, let me continue going here. But again, it's that, joy from being present in your own life, even if others are doing something that you are not. It is okay. It is okay. People are experiencing different parties and celebrations and whatever that I have no part of. And I'm okay with that. Right? We just had right we in a bit, I didn't even tell you. I meant to tell you in the beginning, your happy December. Happy December. We're almost close to the end of the year, but happy December, right? Where we just had Thanksgiving and things of that sort. And this year, Thanksgiving looked a lot different for me. And I'm okay with that. I was solo, chilling, and I wasn't tripping. That I wasn't necessarily at my mom's house eating this food and that food and doing all the things, or at my dad's house hanging out with it. Okay. I ain't tripping, right? It's just like, yeah, I'm being present in my own life. Like, okay, that wasn't the goal for this year, right? So hanging out at my house and being present in my life, it still was joyful. It still was joyful, period. Okay. And look now, so getting into more, right, into a JOMO, right? Again, I want to kind of reiterate and tell you and kind of expand this definition just a bit. Again, it's that feeling of contentment and pleasure that comes from intentionally opting out of activities. Y'all, I don't have time or I choose not to have time for all of the last minute invites and things of that sort, or whatever. Like, my life is very like fluid and somewhat spontaneous, but also very intentional and in the way that I operate, right? Like, there are things that I do and certain hangouts. Like, I was talking to one of my homegirls recently, right? And I was telling her, like, well, I mean, I say this, but anyway, I was telling her specifically, like, we have some plans, right? And then she was like, yeah, so. And I was like, let me know, but I need to know in advance. Like, I don't need you to let me know like the day of, or like, hey, tomorrow we doing la. No. Let me know a little bit more in advance so I can mentally prepare. Right? There's certain things and activities I need to mentally prepare for. Right? Like, y'all, yes, I'm so grateful. God is so good that I have so much autonomy and freedom in my life. God is so good. I also have that autonomy and freedom to say, let me mentally prepare for that. Like, let me know in advance about whatever activity you want to partake in and whatever. Yeah. I don't want to just be notified necessarily the day of. And there are some times we may be able to do that depending on what it is. But for the most part, I need time to mentally prepare to do whatever the thing is too. Okay. It's a different, right? It's a different life for me out here. It's a different life, right? Now, similar to ROMO, right? JOMO also involves unplugging, right? But when you're unplugging, right, you're enjoying your personal time for relaxation, reflection, or your hobbies and things of that sort. Like, y'all, I am notorious, right, in a sense, but I am big on hitting that do not disturb, right? I am big on hitting that do not disturb. I hit that do not disturb quick And I love it, y'all. I love seeing that no notifications, right? No little numbers in the corners of my apps and all of that. No, yeah, I'm cool on that. I'm cool on that. And yeah, that's what we on, right? We on do not disturb. And I hit it quick. And there's certain times of the day, my phone is on do not disturb. And I'm enjoying my time, right? Especially when it's on do not disturb, and I'm enjoying my time. But God, things of that sort. But like, yeah, I hit that button quick. We'll get into that in another episode, right? But like, yeah, right. That's what it looked like, right? So you start utilizing that do not disturb more, right? It's not there just to be decoration and whatnot, right? Like utilize that more. It's man, it can be so beneficial for you. I challenge you, right? Thank you, Holy Spirit. Here, right now, right? Don't wait. I challenge you just today, put your phone on do not disturb for 30 minutes, right? 30 minutes. Like the real part I want you to do is experience it for an hour. But some of you might be a little hesitant and reluctant to that hour. So start with the 30 minutes. Just put your phone on do not disturb for 30 minutes. Actually go in there and do that. Do not disturb 30 minutes. Right? Some of you who feeling a little bit more frisky and risky with it, like, let's do it, right? An hour. There's hours that go by when my phone is on do not disturb, but no issues. Like, I'll see it when I take it off do not disturb. It's okay. But yeah, so some of you, I challenge you truly to put your phone today on do not disturb for an hour. Right. And doing something, and during that time, right, doing something that you enjoy, that you love. Like, don't be like, oh, my phone's on do not disturb because I'm at work and I can't have my phone right now. That's not the same. That's not the same thing, right? Be intentional about putting your phone on do not disturb mode today, right? Today for at least an hour. That's what I'm telling you. I mean, again, you want to start with 30 minutes, fine, but like an hour, like really, really experience that. Man, it's just something about it for me, right? And I believe that's what it is. I believe that you will be able to experience some of that wholeness and greatness and joy that I feel and have during that time. Like, y'all, yeah, just try it. Just try it and report back. Let me know, right? Yeah, hit me up in the Boundaries and More community, letting me know what your experience was for having your phone on do not disturb for that hour or the time frame that you chose, or send me a message on the Boundaries and More Instagram page, Boundaries and More podcast Instagram page, or like for those of you who are listening to the audio version of this, I have a form, a link to a form there where you can fill out and just tell me, your thoughts and, what you're experiencing and things of that sort. Utilize the tools and the resources here for you, y'all. Like, it's here. It's not just here just because, take the time to actually utilize the resources that I have for you all. Don't be shy. Right? Don't be shy. We're getting over that stuff right now. But utilize that and let me know, how your experience was during that time, putting your phone on do not disturb for whatever set time that you choose to utilize that feature. Right? I would love to actually get some more, right, of your feedback around that. Right? That'll be awesome. Right now, let me tell you something else about JOMO, because we're gonna get into it. And I got more on this, so I want to keep it moving. Right, the emotions that you feel, right, the things that happen in you in JOMO, right, it is really fostering this sense of peace and satisfaction and happiness in the present moment, y'all. I keep saying that in the present moment, because it's about now. Right? Because FOMO, when you're looking at what people are doing, you're like, oh, I'm not there right now. Right? But look, you don't need to be there right now. You can experience your life in this moment, here and now, and be grateful for it. Experience joy because of it. Right? Man, like, it's truly, right? JOMO is truly that. It's a mindful choice, right? You must be intentional about this, y'all. Like, because if you don't, you're going to fall into another category that's not so helpful for you, right? FOMO and whatever else that comes from experiencing that stress, anxiety, etc. Right? So it's a mindful choice. Be conscious, be mindful of this choice to prioritize your own well-being. Right, y'all? Without you, your world don't exist, right? It's a world, but it's not necessarily your world. It doesn't exist, right? Take care of yourself, your own well-being and your happiness, right? Over whatever, this this constant social comparison and pressure, right? We not focusing on that. We not doing that. Like we not doing that at all, y'all, right? It's truly focusing on you and yeah, not others, not all of that stuff, right? Oh my gosh. Okay, look, yeah, we're gonna get into some more of these aspects and whatnot of JOMO, and yeah, keep it moving from there, like, because man, y'all, I just I know in many episodes I've talked to you all about and discussed like being more intentional, right? Like all the things really happen when you're being more intentional about the moves you're making and the things you're doing in your life. Like that's where the magic happens, in your intentionality, right? Like there's no like necessarily no magic wand that you wake up, I'm gonna do the same old stuff that has not been working and get the result that I'm actually looking to get. Does not work that way. You must be intentional about these things, y'all, right? And yeah, enjoy that, right? Enjoy that. Like enjoy yourself, right? That's what we're on. So again, being present when you are, like me personally, y'all, I know I've said this in many episodes and I'm gonna continue to say it because if it's just not something that resonates with me at all, and I've been rejecting that, and it's becoming more popular to do so, but I've been on that, right? But it's like rejecting that hustle culture, right? That hustle, grind. Like y'all, they can have it. I'm cool on all that. Like I don't need that. I don't want that. Like keep it over there. Right? So what JOMO does, it provides that alternative, right? Of the to the pressure of being constantly busy and productive and all the things that people say you should be doing instead, right? Like, no. It encourages a more fulfilling pace of life, right? That's what we're doing. Like I have an I've talked about running your race and things of that sort, and finding your rhythm, right? Really, really early on in the podcast journey, right? Y'all can check that episode out as well. But you gotta find like your own, like everything that works for somebody else doesn't necessarily mean it will work for you, or you have to subscribe to it because the majority is doing it. More than likely, if the majority is doing it, there's probably a different direction that you should be going in. Right, you should probably go in the opposite direction if the majority is doing a certain thing. I'm just saying, putting it out there, right? And it truly like focusing on JOMO, being intentional, all the things, you're starting to prioritize more and more your self-care. Like it is so important for you to do that. Like I'm going kind of like back to it. I talk about your well-being, but like being like all parts of you, like being happy, being with you, like just being you, with you, right? You and your thoughts. I know some people that can't stand just being alone. Like I really didn't mean to say alone, because I truly believe like God is with me always, and God is, with his people always. Not, we're never really truly alone, but people start feeling this sense of being alone and loneliness and all the things, and it's not true, right? But there's people that just decide like, no, they cannot be just them right there with their thoughts, right? I embrace that. I embrace it and I love it. It changes the game. It makes things better. It develops ideas and all these different aspects to uh, prosper in a sense, right? Like it truly does something different for you. And I know people that just, I'm avoid that at all costs. I need to always be doing something on the go. I have an episode called Be Still, right? Go listen to that if you haven't already too. Like, yo, it kind of, it fosters that energy and makes it even so much better for you, right? So, right, throughout your daily life, I'm getting ready to get up out of here, right? Like and get some more of my JOMO in, right? It's literally the lifestyle that I live. But how you can actually practice this and be like super practical things for you to do starting today, right now. Limit that social media time, right? Like, because a big part of that in this culture is what's causing people to not be content and happy and joyful and all the things in their space because they're so focused on what all this stuff that's happening on social media. Like, I promise you, like, do it, like, reflect, right? See how your day is and all the things before you get on social media, and see how your attitude and mood and everything change after you not been scrolling for an hour or whatever, like looking at everybody else highlight reels and stuff. Like, yeah, like, see the difference, right? So, yeah, and I guarantee it won't be necessarily something that you like, right? Unless you got the right stuff in your space, but that's a whole nother story. We're not going to get into that today. But limit that time on social media, right? You can set specific times for being there, take breaks, all of the different things. Limit that time, okay? Also, you practice mindfulness, like um be present, right? Some people like to meditate. I visualize, I write things down, I brainstorm, all these different things. Like, practice some of these things and appreciate your current surroundings, right? There's something that's going on. There's things that I don't like necessarily that happens around. Like, we're not gonna get into that today, but instead of me focusing on those things, I say, joy. Like, okay, we're gonna get into this practical example, right? Really, really practical, right? The joy. Missing out and just being joyful overall, right? Because this is kind of there but not. But anyway, so like, I hear neighbors, like, or dogs barking, like, going by and different things, and that's something. Y'all, I am not an animal person at all. I don't prefer to hear dogs barking when I'm just relaxing or whatever. Like, I don't want to hear that. I don't. Right. And it's really annoying. It does. It can get annoying. And instead of me focusing on the annoyance of the dogs and things of that sort, I'm happy. Like, God, thank you that I don't need to deal with none of that stuff. And also, God, thank you for ears that hear, right? The ability to be able to hear the sounds and things of that sort, right? Focusing up my energy, because that can go down a whole nother path, right? Like, that's a little sidebar there, but just making that practical for you all to see, like, this reframe, right? When you're so focused on more of the joy part and things, like, other things become just naturally a joyful experience also, right? It's I like truly saying no guilt free, right? Like, we must stop being in positions or putting ourselves in these positions where we're feeling some type of way about our no, right? No, just politely decline and keep it moving. Like, that's what you do, right? You don't have to necessarily be at everything and do all the things. Like, you can literally stand up for yourself, right? For your rest, your peace, your happiness, your joy, and all the things, and feel good about it. Like, that's what we're doing here, right? That's part of the mission for you, right? For this community, I should say, right? Like, that's what it's about, right? And also, right, this is something that I've been doing more and more of, and I've been loving it, and I'm gonna continue to grow in this area as well. But focusing more on the present connections, right? Focusing more on present connections instead of the superficial online interactions and things. Like, I'm not trying to just be online, like, DMing all day or liking people posts and doing this and all that. Like, no, like, real connection with real people, right? In-person conversations and relationships, right? That's why me personally, part of that, like, when I'm communicating and talking with people, most of me, I prefer FaceTime. Like, it just adds another layer of that connection to our relationship or conversation or whatever. Like, let's just FaceTime, right? So I can see you, you can see me, and that takes things to a different level. I'm just, preference, okay? Also, y'all, like, that's, that's what I have for you today. That's what I have for you. And just do that, right? Because again, I'm gonna stop there, because I don't want to just, too much information here, right? We in this JOMO. What I really want you to get to, if you're not there yet, or you're not experiencing it, or some of you may have been experiencing, and then it became a term for it all, because I'm like, I live life, and then I love when I see terms that is more out there in the world, that is more kind of put words to what I've been doing and what I'm doing and things of that sort. But like JOMO is it for me, y'all. That's what I'm on, and that's what I do. And I pray that you get to that point too. Right. Also, right, we talking about low JOMO, a different type of low JOMO here, is I want you to experience the joy of meaningful opportunities, right? That joy of meaningful opportunities. So with that, I want you to come and join us in the Boundaries and More community. We are here for you, right? Let's take this conversation to another level. Like, just go deeper in the community. Like, let's get into it, right? Let's get into it, right? So that link for you is in the show notes. Or you can go to community.boundariesandmore.com to come and join us in the Boundaries and More community. Let's have a great time, right? Like, invest in yourself, right? You really deserve that. Like, you do, right? We're growing and being better and all the things. Like, come through. Like, we're here for you, all right? That's it. That's what I have for you all today. I'm going to leave that there. Man, I'm excited. I'm excited. And I pray that the person that's supposed to receive this message, get this message today. That's always it, right? Right. Yeah. Okay. Yep. So also, you're welcome to come and follow us on Instagram at Boundaries and More Podcast. Again, that's on Instagram at Boundaries and More Podcast. Y'all be sure. Like, oh, you got to be intentional. Remember, intentionality is important. It's the difference maker. It's where the magic happens, right? So be intentional. Go out and have an amazingly beautiful day. Enjoy the rest of your week and be back here next week for more Boundaries and More with Jas Abraham. Talk to y'all then.